Shalom everyone, Rabbi Heather Miller here. I wanted to share with you that we are now entering into the second week of the month of Elul. That's the last month before the month of Tishrei, which begins our new year. And what do we do in this last month of the year? But in the Jewish tradition, we introspect and we think about who we have been in the past year and who we want to be in this year ahead. There's a story about Rabbi Zusia, and Rabbi Zusia was a great and learned sage, and on his deathbed, he had all of his disciples surrounding him, but he had a worried expression on his face, and his disciples said, Rabbi Zusia, what's wrong? Why are you so concerned? You were the greatest sage that we've had. You've been a great teacher. What could you possibly be worried about? And he said, my students, I'm worried. I'm worried that God will meet me after I die and say, Rabbi Zusia, why weren't you more like Moses? Now, the story doesn't end there because the story continues and shares that God doesn't ask him why he wasn't more like Moses, but instead God asks him, Rabbi Zusia, why weren't you more like Rabbi Zusia? The idea is that each of us were created for a purpose and we each have something unique to bring into the world. And it is our duty to do just that. There's a saying by Rabbi Nachman of Breslov that says, on the day that you were born, that was the day that God decided that the world could no longer live without you. Each of us has a purpose. Each of us has a reason for being. And in the second week, going into the month of Elul, in my book called Resolutions, a practical guide for self-repair, spelled resolutions like S-O-U-L in resolutions, we decided to think about in the second week of Elul about claiming space, claiming our own space. Each of us was given a gift and each of us is here for a reason. So what would it be like if we created a world where every single human being on this planet could live up to their full potential, to be their fullest selves, their most realized selves? So as we enter into the second week, that is the theme. And as we think about what it would take for us to be our most realized selves by contemplating the spaces in which we do feel the most alive, the most like our own selves, we can also think about the idea of creating that space for others. In what ways do we create spaces for everybody around us to be their full selves? How can we encourage everyone being fully actualized and realized? May that be the world that we build in the coming year. With that, may you have a continued, reflective, and meaningful month of Elul as we continue on to the new year. I'd like to invite you, if you'd like to join us for the high holiday season at Keeping It Sacred, please do so. You can sign right up on RabbiHeatherMiller.com. If you go to RabbiHeatherMiller.com, there is a sweet and sacred box there. You can click on that and see all of our high holiday programming. And you are very most welcome to all of that. Check out the rest of the webpage as well. There's a link to the newsletter, which shares many of our offerings that we have outside of the high holiday programming as well. And you are welcome to all of it. Consider this your formal invitation. We look forward to seeing you and wishing you all L'Shana Tova. May you have a sweet, happy, and healthy new year. Happy second week of Elul, everyone. Thanks for keeping it sacred.